Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hello, and thank you for joining me here today. I'm sorry that I was a little bit late. I was powdering my nose and organizing the office, making sure that it all looked festive for you. How are you all? Where in the world are you? And how are you feeling today? Are you getting into the spirit of things? That's a question you might ask. Are you getting into the spirit of things? Oh my goodness, there's something going on in the background. Just bear with me a second. I don't know what's happening over here.
Pet, pit, put, pot, pat. Pet, pit, put,
What's happening?
pot, pat. Number 2. Love enough, look good, up and above. Love enough.
So sorry about that. My partner left the studio and left his computer running, and there was a video on there playing. I'm so sorry. What a terrible way to start. I hope you can all hear me well, and that wasn't too much of a fluster of a start. It was for me. Okay, let's start again. Hello, ho, ho, ho. Happy Christmas, everyone. Who do I have here? Rick from Congo. I have Martin from Argentina. I have Donnie. You haven't said where you're from, but you found me through the Scouse accent video. Fantastic. And I have Dennis from Brazil. I have H from Turkey. Amazing. Brilliant. Well, I do hope that you're all feeling... Oh, my goodness me. I do hope that you're all feeling festive and happy and ready for today's lesson. So this is covering the traditions of a British Christmas. I have made some notes which you can now download. You should see them if you're watching on YouTube. You should see them in the description for the video. And if you're watching on Facebook, it's the first comment of this post. You can click that link. Sign up for my mailing list and I'll send you the notes and any future notes that are going to go out as well. Brilliant. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do for you is to sing you a little song. And it goes like this. Christmas pudding, steaming hot, steaming hot. Sprinkle on the sugar, sprinkle on the sugar. Eat it up, eat it up. Now, to eat up is a phrasal verb meaning to eat it. Go on, eat it. It's normally used as a command. You'd say, come on, eat up. Not a command, but, a suggestion perhaps. You can eat up now. You should eat it up before it gets cold. So as you can hear, it's a separable phrasal verb as well. Let me just write it here for you. Eat up. So... Let's get to the bottom of the comments here. Eat up, eat up. And you can separate it and put eat it up. Eat it up. Or you could even say eat it all up. Eat it all up. Okay. So the song I just sang to you is a little nursery rhyme. And my son sang it to me last week. It's the first time I've heard it and I thought it was really, really sweet. And here are the notes that I've shared with you. So you can download these notes yourself. But this is the little song that I just sang for you. Now, a Christmas pudding, it looks like this, traditionally. And it wasn't my favorite when I was little. It's very, very rich. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it here, actually. A British Christmas pudding is a dark, sticky, dense sponge cake. So it's very much like a fruit cake. It's full of lots of dried fruits, and so it's a bit spicy as well. And it has brandy in it traditionally. And with that brandy, we often set it on fire before we serve it. It's a spectacle at the Christmas table. Now, this initially came from a tradition that was representing the Passion of Christ. So you set the pudding alight to represent the Passion of Christ. But as many of you might know, in the UK, religion we're not as religious as we used to be. And so Christmas isn't as much a religious festival anymore as it is just a commercial celebration, I guess, or it's our biggest holiday here in the UK. It's a chance for us to really get involved in something. It's rare that you meet someone in the UK who doesn't get involved in the Christmas celebrations. And so now setting the pudding alight is pretty much for entertainment, really. But it was originally to represent the Passion of Christ. And I really, really didn't like Christmas pudding when I was little. I did like the vanilla sauce that goes on the top. There's like a custard, a sweet sauce that goes on the top, which I do like because I love custard. And when I was little, my mum also used to do a special thing of putting little 5-pence pieces into the pudding. Now, this is actually something that dates back to an old tradition that is known as the token in the cake. Now, the token in the cake, I've put it here. I remember eating my way through my Christmas pudding for the sole purpose means it's the only purpose, of finding a 5-pence piece, so 5 pennies. This tradition of hiding tokens in a Christmas pudding started hundreds of years ago. A silver 6-pence was placed into the pudding mix, and every member of the household gave the mix a stir. Now, whoever found the 6-pence in their own piece of pudding on Christmas Day would see it as a sign that they would enjoy wealth and good luck in the year to come. So it's an old tradition that my mum obviously brought into our household when I was a little girl. And it forced me to eat lots and lots of Christmas pudding because I wanted that 5-pence piece. Not good if you actually chew on one, though. It could be a bit of a tooth breaker. Okay, so do you have Christmas pudding in your country? Is it something that you are familiar with? If not, have you ever tasted a Christmas pudding? Have you been over to the UK and tried one? Okay, so I'm going to go back to that little song and I want you to sing it with me, because Christmas is very much about music and singing songs and doing things together. And it's actually quite a famous tune. Da 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 da. Yeah, I think Alexandra has pointed out it's a London Bridge is falling. What do we sing? Is it London's burning, London's burning? Mm-hmm. So that's not the tune for London's burning, I'm sure, but it works in the round. So you could have a number of people singing this tune, and someone starts, and then someone starts when you get to the second line, and then someone starts when you get to the third line, and then someone starts when you get to the fourth, and it all works in harmony. It works really nicely. No, London's burning is London's burning, London's burning, fetch the engines, fire, 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 pour on water, pour on water. But again, it works in the round. It's the same. It's four parts. And so let me bring this back up and let's sing this together, guys. Okay, so we've got Christmas pudding, steaming hot, steaming hot. Sprinkle on the sugar, eat it up, eat it up. Sing it with me. Christmas pudding, steaming hot, steaming hot. Sprinkle on the sugar, eat it up, eat it up. I hope you were singing and it wasn't just me. Lovely. Okay, so that's Christmas puddings. That's just to get our voices warmed up. So we have the token in the cake. Oh, now moving on to the big man, Father Christmas. He is often referred to as the big man. You might hear someone say, and it's the big man himself. It's the big man himself. It's Father Christmas. There are many ways to refer to Father Christmas in our country. We say Father Christmas. We say Santa Claus, or just Santa is quite common. If you follow American English, a lot of American films, you might hear the phrase Kris Kringle. Kris Kringle. And also he's Saint Nick because it's Saint Nicholas traditionally. So in some songs, he's referred to as Old Saint Nick. Why father, says John Liu. I'm not 100% sure, actually. If anyone would like to look up the origins of Father Christmas, then please do share it with us. But yeah, Father Christmas is the most commonly used phrase here, followed by Santa Claus or Santa. Amazing. Thank you for singing with me. I love it. Okay, so Father Christmas, let's bring him back. Here he is. He obviously wears his big red suit and his black belt, his golden buckle, his black boots. He has a big white beard, a white moustache, and a big red hat and his red gloves. Father Christmas. So he's also known, as I've written here, Santa Claus, Father Christmas. Also known as Santa Claus, Father Christmas is a big deal in the UK. If someone is a big deal or something is a big deal, then it means it's very important. It's or he's a big deal. Christmas is a big deal for us. If someone was told they had to work on Christmas Day in the UK, then they'd probably be a little bit upset because they would want to spend time with their family celebrating Christmas because Christmas is a big deal. Okay, so then I go on to say all the children hope to be on his good list so that on Christmas Eve, he will visit their house and leave them a gift. We often leave out a mince pie for him and a carrot for the reindeer. All right, a few things to unpack there. So all the children hope to be on his good list. On his good list. It's typical, the story of Father Christmas, it's typical to believe that Santa Claus is keeping tabs on. So to keep tabs on is to keep notes on someone. Is keeping tabs on what all the boys and girls are doing around the world. And if the boys and girls are good, then they go on his good list. And if the boys and girls are naughty or bad, then they go on his naughty list. And this is used by parents the world over to try to get their children to behave around Christmas time because it can be overwhelming for children and it can cause behavioral issues, especially when they're eating lots of sugar and getting excited, overexcited and overtired because they're not sleeping. So they can be tricky. Their behavior can be tricky. So we tend to use the story of going on to Father Christmas's good or bad list as a way to keep them on the right path. And so if you are on the good list, according to the story, if you're on the good list, then on Christmas Eve, anything that's Eve is the day before. So Christmas Eve is the day before Christmas, which we celebrate on the 25th of December, by the way. The 25th of December is our Christmas Day. I didn't realize, but recently I found out that in different countries, Christmas is celebrated on different days. So 25th of December equals Christmas Day. And Christmas is always spelt with a capital letter. Okay, so 25th of December is our Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is the 24th of December. It's our day before Christmas. And on Christmas Eve, Santa will get his reindeers together and they obviously fly. And he loads up his sleigh, which is what he rides in. And if I can spell this, sleigh, it's got a funny spelling. And the reindeer will pull his sleigh, which is full of presents, through the sky. And he is obviously magic because he can go super fast and he visits every single household in the entire world, goes down the chimney, and the chimney is the flue, the funnel that takes the smoke from a fire that's inside. Obviously, not all houses have a fire inside. And so modern houses don't have chimneys really. we have a chimney on our house, and because we have a chimney breast and an open fireplace. So we do have real fires in our house. And so Father Christmas, when he comes to our house, will go down the chimney, goodness knows how, because he's quite a portly chap. To be portly is a nice way of saying fat. Portly, I think that's how you spell it. I've never written it down before. He's a portly chap. Large man. Yes, it must be difficult for him to fit down some of these chimneys, because some chimneys are very narrow, very thin, and he has to fit down them. Which actually brings me on to my next song. We'll get there in a minute. So he's a portly chap, quite large. So he visits every house and leaves them a gift if they've been good. In some houses, he fills their stocking, but I'll come on to that later. But the stocking is filled with presents, or he'll just leave a big gift under the tree. And we will leave out on Christmas Eve, as we go to bed, we'll leave out a treat for him and for his reindeer. So it's normally a little glass of brandy or port, which is a liqueur, very strong alcohol, a mince pie. This is why he's so portly, of course, because if every household does this and he visits every house in the world, then he's going to be eating a lot of mince pies and drinking a lot of liqueur. And you leave out, or you can leave out a glass of milk. That's sometimes done. And some carrots for the reindeer, because they get hungry too. So then obviously the children go to bed, and when they wake up on Christmas morning, there's a bite out of the pie and a bite out of the carrots, and the port's gone. So obviously that shows that Santa has been overnight. He's visited overnight. Okay. So I've seen a few questions coming in. Let me just see if I can catch some of these questions. The comments go past so fast, so if I miss your question, I do apologize. What does Christmas mean to you as a culture? So for us in the UK, some people here do still hold on to Christianity and Catholicism, and they do go to church, and we hold midnight mass, and there's lots of church services, and so there is still an element of religion, and that still is an important thing within the community. The church, even for those of us who are not religious, the church is still an important place for us in our community. I've been to church many a time, even though I'm not religious. I go for the community, and the church works hard to do community-based activities. And that's, for me, what the church represents. It's that idea of community, coming together for a common purpose and supporting one another. And that's what I think the church does really well. Christmas for us as a nation is very much a time of reflection, for looking back at what's passed over the past 12 months. It's a time of reconciliation. So to come together with people that perhaps you've fallen out with. So you've had an argument with them, or your relationship has broken down. So it's a chance to really reconnect, put family first. It's very difficult to see your friends over Christmas, because everyone is making the time to see their families, their extended families. For me, it's usually the time I see people in my family who I wouldn't maybe see throughout the year, because they live a long way away. So you make the effort, you do the traveling to see everybody. You exchange gifts, you have a meal together, you hug if there's no social distancing going on. And it's a time to catch up and reconnect with people. It's very special for us. Nice question. Thank you. Does Christmas holiday have benefits? Not quite sure what you mean with this question. I mean, a Christmas holiday is good for our soul. It gives everyone, it makes everyone feel happy. You know, when you've got singing, music, lights, decorations on these long, cold, dark days, it makes everyone feel happy. I also noticed that generally there's a lot more goodwill between people. So strangers walking down the street smile at each other more and wish each other a happy Christmas. And we had our shop delivered to our house the other day. We get our groceries delivered sometimes, and there was very much that, thank you very much, have a Merry Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. And it's that exchange of goodwill. It's nice. It's nice. So that's definitely a benefit. And people get time off work, which is nice. Okay. Hello, Nishanta. Hello, Francesca. Lots of you joining here. In the UK is 1 week Christmas celebration. So do we celebrate for just 1 week? I would say actually our celebrations begin at the 1st of December. So that's when we begin our countdown. Lots of us will have an advent calendar. An advent calendar typically is a box of chocolates, and each chocolate is hidden behind a door. And there's 25 doors, so there's 25 chocolates, and you open one door for every day from the 1st of December until Christmas Day. And that's your advent calendar. We don't have those because I like to reduce my plastic if I can in my house. So I don't buy them because there's a plastic tray. And so I've bought a wooden train that has little drawers in, and I put chocolates into those drawers or treats into those drawers, and we do it that way. But that's an advent calendar. So really our celebrations start from the 1st of December. And there's often an office Christmas party. So there'll be a Christmas party for every organization that you're involved with, either a lunch or an actual big party that's been organized, or a dinner perhaps, or just drinks. And yeah, Christmas is like a whole month long. And then we have New Year, obviously, to finish off the end of December. So then we go into January, and it's really depressing because there's nothing to look forward to until springtime. Okay. Maria, hello. In Slovakia, we have special dinner. So we have a special dinner at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. Oh, okay. So Christmas Eve dinner, and we find our Christmas presents under the Christmas tree, under the tree, so under the Christmas tree after the dinner. Interesting. So you open your Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. Now we save ours till Christmas Day. Though sometimes people do give one gift on Christmas Eve. I actually have got my little boys a Christmas Eve box, a gift box, which is specifically for Christmas Eve. And in it, I'll just put things like maybe a new pair of pajamas each year, and maybe a little treat for that evening, a little chocolate or a little puzzle for us to do that evening. I'm very much looking forward to it this year because my eldest is 3 years old, so it's the first time he'll really enjoy it and understand it. Dennis, hello. Here in Brazil, virtually all shopping centers have at least one person dressed as Santa. Children usually go to him and take photos with him. Do you have something of this sort? Absolutely, yes. In every shopping center, if it's a big shopping center, and in every attraction that you'll find, like park farms and places that you'd normally pay to have a ticket to go in for families, will often have a Santa event, and you have to book for all of them. There's no just turning up. There might be outside of London, actually. Maybe it's just booking here because we're densely populated. But here you have to book to visit Santa and pay, obviously. And you go and see Santa, and he will give you a gift there and then, but you also tell him what you really want for Christmas. This is us. Jacob must have been 1 there. So Jacob was 1 year old, and that was our Santa experience. It's very exciting. This was a great Santa. He has a great outfit. And this was a really nice setup that they had. It was a really great experience. Jacob didn't really understand what was going on, but I had a nice time. This year we're going to see Santa on Christmas Eve. I'm very excited about that. I hope it still goes ahead. Okay, so let me carry on with my notes and then I'll come back because some of these comments are actually covering some of the stuff that I'm already going to cover in the notes. So that's Santa Claus. Now, I talked about Santa being quite a portly chap and that sometimes he gets stuck in the chimney, which is a nightmare for him. And this is a fun song that we're going to sing together now. When Santa got stuck up the chimney, he began to shout, "You girls and boys won't get any toys if you don't pull me out. My beard is black, there's soot in my sack, my nose is tickling too. When Santa got stuck up the chimney, achoo, achoo, achoo." Obviously, achoo is the sound of sneezing. Achoo, achoo. Do you want to sing it with me? Here we go. When Santa got stuck up the chimney, he began to shout, "You girls and boys won't get any toys if you don't pull me out. My beard is black, there's soot in my sack, my nose is tickling too. When Santa got stuck up the chimney, achoo, achoo, achoo." I can't tell you how weird it feels to sing without being able to see anybody. I feel a bit awkward. Anyway, soot, for those of you who aren't familiar with that word, soot, which you see here, he has soot in his sack. Soot is the dust that you get when you burn. So it's a black dust, and it usually comes from burning coal, and it's all up your chimney. So any of you who have a live fire, who've ever cleaned out either the wood burner or the fire to make a new fire, will know what soot is. It gets all over you. And so Santa's got soot in his sack from all the chimneys he's gone down in the past. Okay. So how long do people in the UK spend their time? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Do you mean spend time with their family? Because that's not quite a complete question. How long do people in the UK spend time with their family during Christmas Day? Is that what you mean? So it's normally a couple of days that you spend with your family, or it might be one day and then you'll move on to another family or another part of your family. So you might do like I might spend Christmas with my mum, and then on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, I might go to my partner's mum's house, and then we might go to see my grandma for a day. Or you might have family come and stay with you for a week. It depends on your situation, how far away from each other you are and how difficult it is to get to one another. Okay. Hello, Eleonora. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Manuel. Okay, so that song that we just sang, When Santa Got Stuck Up the Chimney, is a very famous song which all the children sing. So that's one to note. If you have children, a good one for them to sing along with. Okay, let's come on to the Christmas tree. I've got my mini tree. I did debate whether or not to put up the big tree behind me here, but I went for ease in the end. I decided to go for the easy option, which is the pre-made, pre-decorated little tree that I had in the front room. It's very lovely. Let me bring my notes up again. So in 1841, our queen at the time, Queen Victoria, her husband, Prince Albert, brought a Christmas tree over from Germany, and he put it in Windsor Castle. From that point on, Christmas trees became fashionable, meaning everyone wanted one. It was the thing to do. They became fashionable all over the UK, and they are often decorated with lights, baubles, and tinsel. So yes, he brought this tree over from Germany. So thanks, Germany. I love having my Christmas tree up. And he had a lovely photo with his wife, the Queen, and his children in front of this Christmas tree. And that went into the newspapers back in 1841. And everyone saw it. And they were like, wow, we want one of those. And that's when Christmas trees became a thing. I cannot imagine Christmas without a Christmas tree now. It's a big deal for us having, here we go, big deal again. It's a big deal for us having a Christmas tree. And usually the question is, when are you going to put your tree up? Have you put your tree up yet? Because I put my tree up in the middle of November this year. I did it really early. Most people do it at the early part of December. And actually decorating the Christmas tree it's usually a thing. Every house has their own tradition of who decorates the tree. But for me, for us, we do it at least at the very latest on the 1st of December. So we like to have it up from the start of December. And it's a family event. We get the tree out and we decorate as a family. We have Christmas music on in the background. We have something nice to drink and maybe some nibbles. So some nibbles are some little treats that you might eat, like little biscuits and things. And it's an event. It's an exciting time to come together as a family to do something, to do a task together. And as I have a 1-year-old, what we found this year was we were all putting our baubles and trinkets on the tree, and my 1-year-old was taking them all off. So the lower part of my Christmas tree in the house is bare because my 1-year-old has taken everything off. Okay, so I talked about lights. So the lights with Christmas are called fairy lights. Fairy lights. You can also refer to them as Christmas lights, but they're the little lights, and they can be white or multicolored. They might flash. They're very lovely. Oh, the other question. Thank you, Veronica, reminding me. The other question is whether you have a fake tree or a real tree. Some people think having a real tree is better because you have that smell. There's a nice smell that comes from a tree in your house. You can also buy incense and little sticks that have that smell too. But some people just like having a real tree. The only problem with a real tree is that it drops, the needles drop. The needles, the spiky bits tend to fall off as it gets older. And so you're cleaning up a lot. You also can't guarantee the shape and size. So if you order it to be delivered, it might be a wider tree than you had anticipated. And obviously then you have to get rid of it. There is a collection usually with most councils in the UK. They'll come around and collect old trees on a certain date. So they say, leave your trees outside on this date in January and we'll collect it for you. We always have a fake tree. It is easier. They last for years. One of my trees I've had because I have 2 trees. One I've had for 12 years. And the other one I've had for 3 years now. But we like to have our fake tree because we know what it looks like. We know what size it is. It saves money in the long run. Yeah, when you have it for it was expensive. We bought it in the January sales. So it was heavily discounted. But in the long run, it saves us money because we're not buying a new tree every year. Yeah. So I'm happy with my fake tree. I'm not ashamed. Valentina, the real tree is more beautiful than the fake one, but it makes all the environments dirty at home. Yeah, do you know, my fake tree, obviously not this one. We have this fake tree in the house that we bought in the sales, and it was from a really beautiful farm shop. And it's a really beautiful tree. It's a really beautiful tree. I like it more than I would like a real tree, I think. But each to their own. This is a saying we have, each to their own. Each to their own. And you say this to mean everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own likes and dislikes, each to their own. And so you're accepting that. It's okay. Everyone's different, each to their own. Okay. Seeing if there's any questions at my eye level that I can answer. Okay, so Christmas trees. Let's get back to these notes, shall we? Oh, yes, I was telling you, lights, baubles. The baubles are the round ornaments. They come in all different shapes and sizes. I'll show you this one here. We've got some little baubles here. These are baubles. Baubles. These are just mini ones. Some are shiny, some are glittery. And some ornaments are like, I have a phone box and some of them might be personalized. So I have some penguins that are ornaments that hang on the tree with our names written on, as if we were the penguins. And then you might also have tinsel. I've got some tinsel here at the background. That's some tinsel. You might have ribbon on your tree or beads. What else? Nothing else here. Oh, and a fairy on the top of the tree. There's always got to be your Christmas angel, your Christmas fairy on the top. I borrowed this one from inside the house. This is one of our little tree toppers. Or you might top your tree with a star. That's also quite common. But you can basically decorate your tree however you like. Put whatever you like on. My children like to make decorations for our tree, so we've got lots of handmade decorations on our tree as well. Okay, so that's the Christmas tree covered. Now, the Christmas presents. Underneath our trees, we place the Christmas presents. Our presents are covered with wrapping paper, tied with a ribbon, and finished off with a tag and a bow. These beautifully decorated boxes conceal the exciting gifts that will be given on Christmas Day. Okay, so let me show you. I have a little gift here that's sitting under my tree at the moment. I don't know what it is. So this is obviously the wrapping paper. This is so I like to wrap my gifts in either fabric, so cloth, or just brown paper. It's because it's more environmentally friendly, but a lot of wrapping paper will be pre-decorated. It's just this stuff isn't recyclable. So with this kind of thing, I try to open them as carefully as I can so I don't rip it, and then I reuse it next year. And some of those boxes will have ribbon tied around it and a little sticky bow, and that just has a sticky tab on it so you can stick it on to make it look pretty. That's very lovely. And actually that one's got a card stuck to it rather than a tag, and that's traditional. People tend to do that as well, and just stick their card onto the box. Here's a Christmas card, and here's another Christmas card. These are a very big part of our Christmas culture is to send cards. That starts very early, so we already have a handful of cards in the house. I need to finish my Christmas cards. It takes so long, and I have to post most of them, so I need to go to the post office to buy stamps. Okay, so in addition to our Christmas presents that live under the tree, children also put out their stocking or sack, or sometimes a pillowcase, on Christmas Eve for Father Christmas to fill with gifts, if they've obviously been good girls and boys. So this is a stocking here, and a stocking is a large sock. Now, I'm guessing in the past it was an actual stocking that people would wear, but we don't really wear, people generally don't wear stockings. Women wear stockings, but it's seen as it's not very comfortable to wear stockings. Most women wear tights, and stockings now are more like tights. They go all the way up to the top of your thigh. I think the stockings that we refer to at Christmas are more like the low stockings, the short stockings, and they're usually made specifically just for Christmas. If I can reach here, there we go. This, oh no, I've killed the tree. There we go. This is a stocking. It says, Santa, I've been good all year. Nearly. Okay, so that's a stocking, and they're big enough. These ones are big enough to put a few little presents in. Or you can have a sack. If you've got little children, you're probably better off with a big sack, because little children usually have quite large gifts. Their toys are usually quite big. I love Christmas cards. I need to do mine too. Do you have cards with glitter on? So the cards that I send out are actually photographs. We always take photographs now of our children every Christmas, and looking gorgeous. And we make that into a Christmas card and send it out. So it's not it's not glittery at all. I'm going to see if I can find a picture for you, because our children are just gorgeous. Oh no, I don't have anything quickly to hand, but I will share it on Instagram soon, the beautiful Christmas pictures that we've used for the Christmas card. So if you're not following me on Instagram, then do find me. You'll find me under the hashtag, the at British English Pro, or just search for English Like a Native and you'll find me there. But yeah, that's what we do for Christmas cards. All right, what's next on our list? Oh, the main event. So opening Christmas presents happens on Christmas Day traditionally, and it depends on which household you're in as to when and how Christmas present opening happens. In my house, you open your stocking in the morning because that's full of smaller gifts, little trinkets, and that can keep the children happy while you're getting ready, putting the food on, prepping for the day, getting dressed. And the children are so excited they can't wait. So they open their stocking. And then for me, we like to have our Christmas dinner and then do present opening as a family, everyone sitting together, watching each other open presents and enjoying it as a family. In some places, the children go down and just open all their presents at once, or people just do it separately, or they wait until the evening or spread it out across the day. So it depends on the house and what people prefer. But presents tend to be opened on the actual day. What did I buy for the kids? Asked Shanta. What have I bought for the kids? So you say, what have you bought? What have you bought for your kids? So I have Father Christmas has bought Jacob a crane because that's what Jacob has asked for. And we've bought a balance board for our little one. He's very into climbing. Obviously, he's only one, so he's learning. And a balance board is just a curved piece of wood that kind of acts like a seesaw. They can balance on it. They can turn it over and slide down it, climb over it. So it's very simple, but I'm sure he'll get lots of use out of it. And we've got a few other little trinkets and little jigsaws, books. Yeah, that's it really. It's really hard not to go overboard. To go overboard is to do too much. So if you were supposed to tastefully decorate the house, so do it so it looks nice, but you ended up completely covering every inch of the house in glitter and sparkles and decorations, and it's just mental, like Christmas room. You're like, whoa, what has happened in here? It looks like Father Christmas has exploded all over this room. Then you've gone overboard. So to go overboard is to do too much. So I try not to go overboard with buying presents because I think it can be overwhelming for little ones, but it's hard not to because you want it to be so special for them and you just want to buy them lots of stuff. Okay, so let's go back to these notes and talk about the main event, Christmas dinner. Now this here gives you an idea of what we traditionally eat at Christmas. Again, it varies from house to house, but let's see what I've written. Christmas dinner is considered the main event on Christmas Day, aside from opening presents. So opening presents is a main event, but the other main event is the dinner. It will vary slightly from home to home, but generally there's a roast bird, either turkey or chicken. Now, most people only eat turkey at Christmas because it's the traditional meat for Christmas. But most people don't actually like turkey. They think it's quite a dry meat. And actually, a turkey is quite a large bird. And so getting it in the oven can be tricky. Our ovens aren't really that big. So most people have chicken or other meats. They might have beef or lamb or pork. It's just everyone's preference, really. Or a vegetarian option. And then what we refer to as all the trimmings. So when we talk about dinner with all the trimmings are all the things that go with the dinner. So roast potatoes is a must, an absolute must for Christmas dinner in the UK. Roast potatoes are potatoes that are nice and soft and fluffy inside and then crispy on the outside. They're usually, to get them really crispy, on Christmas Day, we usually boil them a little bit. We parboil them, just to boil them till they're slightly cooked. Then bash them up so they're all fluffy. Then cover them in duck fat or goose fat. And this is just at Christmas. And then put them in the oven to make them nice and crispy on the outside. And that's an absolute must, those roast potatoes. Then we have things like carrots and parsnips, sprouts. Oh, don't get me started on sprouts. But carrots and parsnips and turnips as well. These are all root vegetables like potatoes. And they can be roasted or mashed or boiled, however you like them. I like mashed carrots and roast parsnips. I do like roast carrots too as well, actually. Now, sprouts. Sprouts is another one of those things that you'll really only talk about sprouts at Christmas. I don't know why. Sprouts are like mini cabbages. They're very bitter. They're very good for you, but they don't taste very nice. I hate sprouts. I do eat them. I had a Christmas lunch yesterday, and I ate some sprouts. If they're on my plate, I will eat them because I know they are good for you. And I'm that kind of person. But I don't like the taste of them, and I would never choose to buy them and cook them myself. But if someone else has done them and it's on my plate, then I will eat one or two just because it's Christmas. Okay. How do you feel about sprouts? Do you like them? Okay, pigs in blankets is another one. So pigs in blankets is a sausage wrapped in bacon. So it's a little sausage wrapped in a slice of bacon and done in the oven. It's very indulgent. And then stuffing. Not really sure how to explain stuffing. Stuffing used to be, and it's not so much anymore, actually stuffed inside the bird that you were going to roast. So you would stuff it inside and roast the whole thing. And the stuffing's full of like herbs and things. And so it makes the bird supposed to taste nicer, but we don't do it that way anymore. So stuffing, what's in stuffing? Stuffing made of, let's see. So we got sage, onions, breadcrumbs, butter. What else? What else is in here? Egg, pepper, salt. So not very much, actually. Interesting. I didn't think it was that basic. But yeah, it's something you would expect to have with a roast dinner, certainly. But we just cook it on the side now. I put some grinded coconuts on sprouts. Oh, they go very well together. That sounds very interesting. I do like a bit of coconut. Dennis, sprouts are just not my cup of tea. I'm with you on that one. Okay, so then we have gravy. Gravy is, you have to have gravy. Christmas dinner is not Christmas dinner without it. It's a savory, rich sauce that we pour over. Often gravy has been made with the juices from the meat that was cooked, although it doesn't have to be. You can have vegetarian gravy too. And then additional flavorings, and it's very rich and it's delicious, and it finishes off a roast dinner perfectly. It makes your roast potatoes nice and soft, so you get that soft, crispy, fluffy texture all in one. And then I love a bit of cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce is generally only served with the white meat. So traditionally turkey, you could have it with chicken. I have it with everything because I just love it. If you were having lamb, then you'd have mint sauce. And if you're having beef, then you'd probably have mustard as your sauce. So there's sauces that go along with certain meats. There's an expectation to have certain sauces depending on what meat's been made available. Oh, and then the Christmas cracker, of course. So the Christmas cracker. The Christmas cracker is always on the table when you lay the table. So to lay the table or to set the table is to prepare the table for everyone to sit down. And at Christmas, the table looks extra special because it's been decorated nicely, that you might have a nice tablecloth. You might have a runner. So a runner is a piece of cloth, a long, thin piece of cloth that goes down the middle of the table. And you might have the special dishes and plates put out that you've been saving all year. You might bring out the special glasses, the ones that are really posh. And there's often little decorations on the table as well. Maybe a candle if you don't have children. And crackers. There'll be a cracker at every place. So every person has a cracker. And a cracker is this cardboard tube that's covered in paper and tied at each end of the tube. So you don't know what's inside. And two people will pull an end each, and the cracker will snap or pop. And it makes a little bang. And then out come the treats. And whoever is left with the main tube of the cracker, once you've pulled it, is the person who wins what's inside. So if you're very unlucky, you'll end up with two ends and no tube if you've been pulling other people's crackers. One tradition, and we did this yesterday, is if you're sitting around a table, is that you take your cracker and offer it to the person on your left, and then you take the cracker of the person on your right as well. So everyone is joined, holding the crackers all together, and you pull all together. And we did have one lady yesterday at my Christmas lunch who ended up with two ends and no tube. And she was like, oh. But in the spirit of Christmas, someone will always give that person their tube and what's inside it, their little trinket. And what do we find inside a cracker? Well, it tends to be a paper hat, a paper Christmas hat, not like this one, and like a crown, a paper crown, and a terrible joke. It'll always be an awful joke. And there will be a little gift, and it might be something like nail clippers or a die or some dice. It could be a little magic trick. They're quite common, but they're usually just silly little things. This year, I'm going to make my own Christmas crackers because I want to make sure that the gifts that are inside are useful and not wasteful, because often we just end up throwing them away because they're just tat, really rubbish, useless. So I'm going to make my own crackers, and I've been collecting things over the year that could go in the crackers, and I'm very excited about doing those. I'm just going to find you some cracker jokes so that you know what a cracker joke is like. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to copy and paste this one on for you. This is a typical cracker joke. What does Santa suffer from if he gets stuck in a chimney? What does he suffer from if he gets stuck in a chimney? He suffers from claustrophobia. Claustrophobia, which is like claustrophobia. To be claustrophobic is to be scared of small spaces. Can you see that on the screen? My software is not playing ball. Come on, show it on the screen. I don't know if you can see that or not. Hopefully you can. But claustrophobia, it's a pun. It's a play on words. Santa Claus, claustrophobia. It's terrible. It just makes you go, oh no, which is what Christmas cracker jokes are all about. Okay, here's another one. Why did Santa go to the doctor? Why did Santa go to the doctor? Anyone? Because of his bad elf. Because of his bad elf. They're usually a pun. It's usually a pun or a play on words that we're looking at here. So bad health is what it means, but we switch the word health for elf. Bad elf. Oh, it's really not working very well, is it? There we go, because of his bad elf. Happy Christmas, everyone. Okay, so those are Christmas cracker jokes. Lots of fun. always makes people go, oh no. All right, so that brings me on to Christmas carols. So music, there's a carol singer. He's missing his front teeth. That reminds me, there's another song, an old song my mum used to sing to me. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth, my two front teeth, my two front teeth. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth, so I can wish you Merry Christmas. All sang with a lisp. It's very funny. Master Phone says, what do you eat on Christmas Eve? There's no traditional meal for Christmas Eve or traditional thing to do. There usually is some sort of gathering and meal. I was thinking the other day, we haven't planned anything for Christmas Eve, and we should. Although we are seeing Santa Claus in the afternoon, so we might not have time for a big meal or anything. The main thing that is common throughout the country is Boxing Day. Boxing Day tends to have some form of leftovers. And so you can make things like bubble and squeak. Bubble and squeak is like fried leftover vegetables with mashed potato as well, I think. So you mix up the leftover veg, mix it with mash, and you put it in a frying pan and you fry it so it's like a little pancake and it goes hard and crispy, and that's bubble and squeak. I think that's how we do it anyway. Bubble and squeak. Or you might have a roast turkey sandwich. So if you've had turkey, you might put some turkey and maybe some stuffing, some cranberry sauce, and maybe a few vegetables that are left over onto bread and make a roast turkey sandwich. Okay. Okay. Right. So Christmas carols. Let's go back to that. Christmas carols. Music plays a huge role during the festive season, and some of our favorite carols are known in many different languages. So I was going to do a lesson on Christmas songs and Christmas carols, and I realized actually a lot of the carols that we love are either came from other countries or have been translated into numerous other languages and are sung across the world. So you might already be familiar with these, which is great, because then singing the English version of something you're already familiar with is wonderful for improving your vocabulary and just improving your English generally. So there are many carol concerts here held in schools and in churches or on the streets as well. I often hear carol singers performing when I go shopping, or if I'm walking through town, or maybe if I'm walking along the river. There'll be people set up doing a little carol concert, which is lovely. And often in the church, they'll have some form of carols by candlelight, which is really nice. You go and all the candles are lit in the church in the evening, and you've got the adults and the children all doing their bit, singing these beautiful songs. And your voices in a church will really resonate. It becomes quite echoey, and it's lovely. It's lovely to hear those beautiful traditional carols in a church setting. Okay, so now we're going to sing some songs, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this one, I think you should all know. Let me know in the comments if you know Silent Night, if it's sung in your country. I imagine most of you are familiar with it. We're going to sing it together now, okay? Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Not quite sure what what level I was coming in at there. I might have done it a bit too low for myself. Anyway, it's a beautiful song. I hope you were singing along with me there. But it's definitely one of my absolute favorites, and I'm sure, I think it actually came from Germany, that song originally. So I'm sure it's known to many of you. All right, the next one, a bit more jolly. bit more bouncy. And it's Come All Ye Faithful. Now, this is obviously quite old, because you don't say ye anymore, but you do still see it in some songs. It'll be written, and it's from oldie English, when we used to have a lot of e's on the end of things, like we say oldie rather than old. You used to have an e on the end, and ye is you. And O written here just as a single letter would now be OH. So I'm not sure why that's gone from a single letter to 2 letters. But yes, come all ye faithful. Here we go. Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Again, I'm not sure if that's the right key, but you can imagine in a church, like, people really get carried away. You always... especially with the, oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. People really get into it. That's a fun one. Anyone know this one? No. Okay, moving on. This is another fun one, another traditional one. Yeah, you can see, because you've got O and O. Obviously, it's religious because it talks about Jesus Christ and Satan, who is the devil. Let's see if I can get this one right. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay, for Jesus Christ our Saviour was born upon this day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Yes, that's always a fun one to do. Yes, Dennis knows them all. Fantastic. They're Christian songs. That's right. They are Christian songs, which is why you'll always hear them in the church services. But it's funny here, because even though a lot of us aren't religious, we still kind of accept a lot of religious traditions, like singing these songs for us. We don't even really consider the religious nature of them. We just enjoy them. And like I said, I go to the church regularly for different events, even though I'm not religious. I'm not a Christian, I'm not a Catholic, but I'll still go to the Christian church. And it just, because it's just a part of our life, Okay, this is one of my favorites as well. And this has been actually done by a couple of pop singers in more recent years. So they made it, feel a little bit more modern, but it's not a modern song. It's been around for a while. Oh, here we go. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, it's such a lovely song. I encourage you to go and look up all of these songs on YouTube, because they are amazing. I mean, I'm taking a risk by singing them because I'm not sure about copyright, if I'm allowed to sing these ones, but they are wonderful. I would have played them to you, but because of copyright, I don't dare. So please do go and look them up, especially the last one, Oh Holy Night. There's some amazing versions of it out on the internet. So do go and have a look. Do I believe in God? No, I think the nature of me not being religious, I know that God exists in the sense that people believe in God. Like I know that Santa Claus. But for me, I've got more of a scientific base. I believe in evolution rather than God being our creator. I don't know what's out in the universe. I just don't believe in a man who judges and a man who created the world. That's where I come from. Okay, so that's the end of my notes. Now, is there any other questions you've got around our British traditions? Don't forget those notes are available for you to download for free, as well as other notes that I make available. Whoa, hey, moving my light around here. It's getting very dark. They're available for you to download for free, and other notes that I make available as well will be sent to you. All you have to do is sign up to my mailing list and I'll send them straight to you. The link is in the description of this video or in the comments if you're watching on Facebook. So, Alexandra, bless. I hope that you're doing well with your little 8-month-old. It's hard being a mum to a little one. I know so well. But yeah, when my 1-year-old was a tiny baby, I sing to my boys at nighttime. I always sing, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. So I sing that to them. And when my 1-year-old was a tiny baby, when I sing that to him, he'd start smiling. He'd just look at me and smile. It was so heart melting. It was beautiful. I do miss those teeny tiny baby days. Okay, so is Father Christmas more common than Santa Claus? Yes, I would say so. But everyone knows Santa Claus and Father Christmas, so it doesn't matter which version you use. It's not like you'll be misunderstood or anything. It's like for like, pretty much. What about football traditions on Boxing Day? I don't. Oh, no, I don't know of a football tradition as such. I'm sure there are sports on, but I'm not really a sports watching kind of person, so it's not something that's ever been done in my household. I saw Romelia. You've been asking me to sing Auld Lang Syne. I don't know the words off the top of my head. So Auld Lang Syne is a song that is sung on New Year. So as the New Year comes in on the 31st of December, as the New Year rings in, we tend to sing, "Oh, Happy New Year," and then we sing Auld Lang Syne. And I did a lesson on this once, and I can't remember it. I've got all these Christmas songs in my head. For the sake of Auld Lang, should old acquaintance be forgot and never da 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 do 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 da 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 da. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of Auld Lang Syne? For Auld Lang Syne, my dear, for Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for days of Auld Lang Syne. So that was 2 verses. Yeah, so that's the typical song that's sung when we ring in the new year. But as you just saw, most natives don't know the words. So we'll sing along. It'll be on the TV. We cross our arms and we hold hands with people and we do this. Da, 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 and we kind of hum along and sing the little bits that we remember. That's the tradition. You're not allowed to know the lyrics. Your Romalia is Scottish. Yes, it has a Scottish. It's based in. It comes from Scotland. What treat do you typically receive from Father Christmas? It depends on the household. It depends on the budget. Um, it will normally be something you've asked for, so it's usually like a main present. Like I said, my son is getting a toy crane. That's his main present, pretty much, because it was expensive, and I don't want to spend lots and lots of money on lots of toys to fill up our house. So yeah, it tends to be a main present that you get from Father Christmas. What is your favorite gift in Xmas? So obviously Xmas we use as Christmas, in case anyone's unfamiliar with that version. So Xmas means Christmas. What is your favorite gift? What is your favorite gift in Christmas? So it wouldn't say in Christmas, it would be at Christmas. And you'd say what has been. So, or what was what has been your favorite gift at Christmas? What has been your favorite gift at Christmas? So my favorite gift, the best gift I ever received as a child was a karaoke machine. I loved singing as a child. I really, really wanted to be a singer when I grew up. And so my parents bought me a karaoke machine. It was the best thing ever. I didn't even think about getting one. I never asked for one. It was a real surprise, and I loved it, and I used it so much. So karaoke machine for me. And as an adult, I don't really care for gifts now. I love giving. I love getting people thoughtful surprises. Sometimes it's stressful trying to think of the perfect gift for people, especially on a budget. But yeah, I'm a gift giver. I like giving people stuff. I have to just be careful not to go overboard. Remember that word from before? To go overboard, not to overdo it. Rawa, I've invited for Christmas, which will be my first time in there because I'm Muslim. What should I do? Should I take a present? What kind of present? How long should I stay there? So I didn't see if you wrote an earlier message for context, but I'm assuming you've been invited to someone's house for Christmas Day. If you've been invited for the day, just go for the day. And I don't know, you'll just kind of get a feel for when it's time to go. If they say, do you want to stay for dinner? Like, as in, like, you know, the last meal of the day, then, or just ask them, what time should I arrive? I wouldn't go too early. Let them have their Christmas morning. Kind of arrive when they tell you is appropriate time. And then maybe just stay for a couple of hours. Christmas Day is quite a big, overwhelming day. And it depends who it is you're talking about. If it's just a friend, it's always good to take food, wine, perhaps, cheeses, or there'll be a lot of food already there. So I'd take something that can be saved for another day, maybe a cake, or we have pancettas. They're quite, it's an Italian baked cake thing that lasts quite a while. I always like to get a pancetta. Is it called a pancetta? Pancetta. I always like to get one at Christmas. That's always a nice gift. That maybe you can get there's a red plant that, what are they called? I've got one in the house. There's a beautiful red plant that's associated with Christmas. They've got beautiful red leaves. And I can't think of the name. If anyone knows the name off the top of their head, please share it. But yeah, I think taking a plant, taking wine, or taking food is always a good gift to take to someone's house when they've invited you round. Something like that. Okay. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Oh, bless you. You have a karaoke, but no one wants to hear you sing. Just sing for yourself. Don't worry about everyone else. Poinsettia. Thank you, Chiara. Poinsettia or poncetta. Poncetta. Yes, that's what it is. That's the plant. It's beautiful. We sell them in the supermarkets here. They're everywhere at this time of year. So it's very, very much part of our tradition. Now let's try and keep them going as long as I can. They turn green eventually. You have to like starve them of sunlight for a few months of the year to get them going red. The red leaves are stressed. So you have to stress the plant out. Okay, so any more questions that I haven't already answered? What do you normally do the day before Christmas? Just something fun. Some people might do their last minute Christmas shopping if they've really left it. Some people will be mad dashing across the supermarket or in the garage or any shop that's open still on Christmas Eve, trying to find that last minute present. I've done that before. I'm looking for a mini Christmas tree. I don't know where to find one though, says Ray. Oh, Ray, you're in the UK. They should you can find them in. You can even find them in B&M, Poundland, any like the homeware stores. Yeah, I mean B&Q. I got this one a while ago. The supermarkets, the big supermarkets. If you find those big like Tesco Extra, those hypermarkets, then you'll find them there. Although nowadays, by the 14th of December, a lot of the stuff is sold out. I can't find a Christmas jumper anywhere. I really struggled to find a Christmas jumper because they've all sold out. And that's interesting. So yes, Britain has mince pies for Father Christmas, but in North America, there's cookies and a glass of milk. There we go. Thank you for enlightening us with that one. Have you bought all of your Christmas gifts? No, I haven't. My partner and I have decided we're not doing a big Christmas present for each other this year, just a few little things, just to kind of save a bit of money. And I'm not seeing much of my family this year. So if I send anything, if I give them anything, I have to post it. And so I haven't managed to find a gift that's right, that's easy to post. So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. What's the significance of Christmas in Christianity? So Christmas is the birth of Jesus. There's the Nativity Story. So this is another thing. Everyone knows the story, the Nativity, even if they're not religious. So you've got the three wise men, and the Virgin Mary, and the angel Gabriel came down and told Mary that she would conceive a child, and it was the Immaculate Conception. So she was a virgin, but she still got pregnant, and she got pregnant with Jesus. She was pregnant with God's child, Jesus, and Joseph, her husband, took her to Bethlehem. They were following the star, the North Star. Took her to Bethlehem on a donkey. There's lots of stories about the donkey and Bethlehem and following the star and the three wise men. And there was no room at the inn. An inn is another word, an old-fashioned word for pub or a little hotel pub. So there's no room. So she had to go and sleep in the stable with the animals, where she gave birth in a manger, which is where what the animals eat out of, the trough that the animals eat out of. And yeah, it mustn't have been very nice for her. But she gave birth there to Jesus, and then she was visited by the three wise men who gave him gifts of myrrh, frankincense, and gold. And he brought the message to the people, and obviously then he was crucified for it. So, but that's Christmas. Christmas celebrates the birth of Jesus. Basically, that's the significance. Okay. So, anyway, is there any other questions? What do you do when your family eat? So we've covered that. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I can see. Lovely. Guys, I'm going to wrap up because I've kept you for such a long time. An hour and 20 minutes is pretty long for a class. I really appreciate everyone joining me and for all your kind words. Sorry about the false start. That was a bit of a mess. Don't forget to download your notes. And I do wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. I will, of course, still be posting. But yes, this is probably the last live stream I'll do this year. Yeah, maybe. Okay, guys, if I don't see you before, I'll see you in your new year. Take care. Lots of love. Please give this video a like and I'll see you soon.